Jai Hind. Welcome to Green On Academy YouTube channel. Candidates, today we'll make an earnest endeavor to explain you the very basic tenets of the word association test, which is a psychological test conducted by the psychologist during the SSB interview to arrive at your true personality. Candidates, we have designed our videos on the word association test in 3 stages. In stage 1, we'll be explaining the basics of the word association test. In the stage 2, we'll be explaining the art of performing and making high weight sentences in the word association test. And in third stage, we'll be explaining how does the psychologist evaluate your sentences in form of responses to arrive at your true personality. Candidates, so let's take the stage 1, that is the basics of the word association test. Let's look at the preview on the basic of the word association test. We'll be attempting to cover the following topics in total slides 20 number in a time frame of 25 minutes. The topics covered under this video would be SSB in nutshell, officer-like qualities, what is personality, and what is stimulus and response theory. What are the basics of the word association test? What are the rules for the conduct of the test? What are the mistakes, common mistakes what the candidates make, and the key takeaways? So candidates, let's understand what are the selection techniques at the SSB centers. SSB interview is a system of selection of suitable candidates, envisaging and finding out an individual who after training can become a successful officer of the average caliber. The selected candidates, after undergoing training and with experience, maturity and familiarity of the right context and perspective, the candidates are expected that he would attain higher goals. Various techniques used by 3 independent assessors who assess the candidate's personality in order to arrive at candidate's true personality to match with the system requirement in form of 15 different OLQs. In the SSB interview, the interviewing officer assesses by communicating with you. The group testing officer assesses you by seeing your actions, and the psychologist by means of your written expressions. Candidates, before we dwell onto the subject proper, let's take a quick recap on the SSB interview and the techniques employed in the SSB. SSB is the essence of the testing techniques in finding 15 different officer-like qualities in a candidate. In SSB, these OLQs are tested and confirmed using tests and tasks by 3 independent assessors who assess the candidate personality independently. Some of these qualities are deep-rooted and others are trainable. The OLQs have been grouped in 4 major factors, and these qualities determine your personality. Although there are many other qualities which shape and molds an individual's personality, however, these 15 qualities are the system requirement for selecting the candidates who could undergo training and become officer of average caliber. Therefore, it is essential to understand these qualities which are the prerequisite for your recommendations in the SSB interview. Candidates, to understand the concept of OLQ in detail, you are requested to see our video on officer-like qualities. Candidates, now a quick recap on the 15 different officer-like qualities and the form factor which they are grouped into. The form factor 1, which says planning and organizing, have 4 different OLQs. Factor 2, called the social adjustment, have 3. Factor 3, the social effectiveness, has 5 different officer-like qualities. And the last, factor 4, also called the dynamic factors, have 3 different qualities. Out of the 15 different officer-like qualities, they are further subdivided into deep-rooted and trainable qualities. The deep-rooted qualities are the ones which are inherent to an individual's personality and cannot be trained or acquired or developed in an individual. However, trainable qualities are those qualities which can be inculcated in an individual after he undergoes a training in the various academies. Now, candidates, as we have heard the word personality a large number of times, so let's understand what is a personality and what would it entails. Candidates, personality is the sum total of an individual's past experiences in life from the time he understands what action he is taking to the time he is at present. Second, what is his family background in terms of the father and mother, what is their occupation, what is their monthly income, what is their education standards, how many brothers and sisters does he have in his family. They all influences an individual's personality. The kind of friends he has, as the saying goes, birds of same feather flock together. So what kind of friends what kind of friend he has, are they progressive or regressive in life? What are their qualities in his friends? What is the candidate's education level, his financial condition, and also his physical attributes, whether he is a medium build, whether he is a tall. All these physical attributes of an individual also accounts towards his personality. Candidate's age and sex also accounts for his personality. Therefore, an individual personality is the sum total of all these above factors. Now, I would also like to tell the candidates the personality is not a static term. It changes from time to time based on individuals' experiences and exposure in life. Candidates, by means of this slide, we will like to attempt to explain the candidate what is a borrowed or a tutored personality is. Candidates, the psychologist testing techniques are designed to assess these officer-like qualities which are present in a candidate by observing his original and his spontaneous responses. To ascertain the same, the candidate's true personality, two types of tests are performed on a candidate, which are the intelligence test and the personality test. While conducting these tests, the psychologist has two-folded aim. The first, to ascertain the intelligence level by means of an intelligence test, and second, match the same as per the responses of the candidate. If there is a mismatch of the intelligence level which the psychologist has found out by conducting an OI rating test to the responses obtained from your personality test, namely thematic appreciation test, word association test, situation reaction test, and self-description, it's an indicator of no original behavior of the candidate, which means that there is a mismatch in the original personality and the personality portrayed by the candidate during the SSB. In such a case where there is a mismatch of personality, the candidate is not recommended by the psychologist. However, when there when the responses are matching to varying degree, the psychologist either recommend the candidate as a doubtful, or he straight away recommends the candidate. Therefore, the candidate should attempt towards giving original responses and not the tutored ones. During the psychologist testing techniques, and the psychologist forces the candidate to give original responses by means of introducing stress as a time factor with an aim to generate spontaneous responses and not the tutored ones. In case the candidate wants to give the tutored responses not as per his personality, he may miss out a portion of his test. Therefore, all the candidates are advised to give original and the spontaneous response to any of the stimuli as provided by the psychologist. Now, the various personality tests performed in the SSB interview by the psychologist are shown on the slide. Candidates now will make an attempt to make you understand what is the stimulus and what is the response to a stimulus. Candidates, an individual personality is guided by the factors of his past experiences, his family background, his friends, and his influences on his personality, his education levels, his financial condition, his physical attributes, and age and sex. Therefore, whenever an individual is subjected to a stimulus which can be defined in form of a problem or a situation or circumstances or difficulties, the candidate is likely to draw few choices based on his personality, and he selects a choice amongst many in form of an action. This action by an individual is called response to that stimuli. Therefore, during this psychologist test, the psychologist generates a stimulus of varying degree and he draws out responses from the candidate in form of actions to the stimulus. Candidates, in this slide, we are trying to communicate that in life, you will always have two decisions, either to react or to respond, as both the people or situations are powerless without your reactions. So, you are requested to respond and not react to the situations. Now, candidates, we have done a quick recap of all the above factors, the testing techniques, what is the response, what is the personality. Let's come on to the subject proper, that is the word association test, which is the second test of the battery of the psychological test, and it's a confirmatory test which is performed after performing the thematic appreciation test, which is the basic test in the psychological battery of tests. Now, word association test is a test of your ideas, imagination, thoughts, aspirations and ambitions which you would like to associate with the word, by which the psychologist gets an insight into candidates' likes and dislikes, feelings, emotions and grooming as a telltale sign of his true personality. Therefore, word association test is not a test of sentence framing wherein the candidate need to be grammatically correct. While framing the sentence may accommodate the word or not in true sense, but the essence of your personality trait wherein you like to associate ideas with the word should be clearly communicated to the psychologist so that he draws inferences on your personality. Therefore, on seeing a word, a candidate is asked to write the first reaction coming to his mind, preferably in form of a meaningful sentences, so that the psychologist draws inferences out of your framed sentence. Using the sentence framed by you, assist the psychologist to judge your true personality and discover the officer-like qualities or the traits into positive and negative qualities. Now moving further, candidates, how should we approach the art of writing sentences in the word association test? The candidate sentence should have the elements of desirability, showing involvement with the positive and constructive activities, reflecting his depth of his personality. However, while attempting the test, if the some candidate has missed out certain words, he should not mind about it and he should aim to write sentences for the maximum words. While writing the sentences, it should reveal his desires which the candidate wish to fulfill and achieve in life. Now, what are the rules for the conduct of the test? In word association test, a candidate will be shown 60 words which are 15 words from 4 different form factors selected by the psychologist. One word will be projected on your screen at a time, and The candidate gets a time of 15 seconds to see the word, associate the word with an idea and write a meaningful sentence so as to convey the traits of his personality to the psychologist. Automatically, after 15 seconds, the word will be changed and new word will be projected on the slide. And during the process of changeover of the word, the psychologist may or may not announce the word next. Now let's take upon what are the do's and don'ts for approaching word association test, or what are the common mistakes made by candidates in attempting word association test. Let's take the do's first. Candidates are requested to make your own sentences which are original in nature, and they should convey the sense of the idea and not the meaning. They should establish appreciating context or the idea with the word. In the process of word association test, candidates are requested not to use, I repeat, not to use borrowed ideas in form of quotations, sayings, sermons, preachings, because the psychologist perceives these sentences or these ideas as not your original ideas but the borrowed ideas of the originators who have given these sermons or one who has authored these facts. Second, candidates are advised not to write general facts reflecting their knowledge. However, profounded facts are welcome, which shows the intelligent level of the candidates. However, these facts should be very specific and they should bring out certain knowledgeable quality about the candidate. While attempting word association test, candidates are requested and to avoid cuttings and spelling mistakes because it gives poor impression and creates doubts in the mind of the psychologist for your recommendation. To conclude, if the words which are displayed in systematic manner as per the four form factors depicts your true personality in an integrated manner, the psychologist is likely to recommend you further. Now candidates, what are the key takeaways of this video? First, word association test is a confirmatory test confirming the behavior and the officer-like qualities shown by the candidates during the thematic appreciation test. In word association test, 60 words will be reflected on your screen, wherein 15 words are selected from 4 different form factors each of the officer-like qualities. Word association test is a test how you associate your ideas, thoughts and desires, your aspirations, your ambitions with a particular word as a reflection of your personality and not the grammatical test of sentence framing. Your sentences in form of ideas should have the element of desirability and acceptability as per the societal norms. To bring forth your actual personalities in terms of arriving at original responses from you, the psychologist conduct the test under stress as a variable. And last, candidates are requested not to use the borrowed themes and the ideas from quotations, sermons, sayings, and preachings. Candidate, with this, we come to the end of our video on the basics of the word association test. If you find the video useful and to your liking, watch our next video on the word association test, that is, the art of framing the perfect high weight sentences in word association test. Candidates, to conclude the stage 1 of the word association test, I on behalf of team Greenhorn Academy would like to wish you the very best for your forthcoming SSB interview and thank you for being with us. Jai Hind.